All right, well, it's been a while. Month and a half, maybe 2 months since I posted anything. Today is Friday, April 14th, and just wanted to update people with, things going on around here in my life with the boys, what we've been up to. It's not going to be really any context or content, whatever the fuck the right word is, regarding the Home Runs for Hope Foundation, as I'm in the process of making complicated travel plans for the boys and I over the summer once they're done with school. However, the rest of our lives have been very busy, mostly baseball related, which has pretty much been the case for 12 plus years since Rocco started playing baseball. And then once Giovanni started playing, then there was two going at a time. I was coaching both, and that's just what our lives turned into. Baseball 24/7, almost year round, and we wouldn't trade it for anything. If you saw a post I made on Tuesday, maybe it was fucking Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Regarding ceremony for Rocco at the high school for senior night. Just can't believe that this all happened so fast. And, people tell you, like, oh, it goes by so quick. And I think quick is an understatement. And then when you factor in the baseball aspect of it, and the fact that I had a front row seat to all of it as his coach, and then the last couple of years just as a dad on the other side of the fence, still coaching, but it all went by so quick. It was emotional, but the school did a good job with honoring each of the four seniors, and very proud of my son for all that he accomplished, all that he has ahead of him. If you didn't know, Rocco is the first player coach. He was named an assistant coach in the beginning of the year for his brother's team. Now he's been elevated to an assistant coach with the varsity team. So he's the first player coach, and I think that's something to be proud of. I know he's proud of it. He's extremely passionate. I think when the season's over, he'll be able to have more time to reflect and see just what an accomplishment it was and is going to be moving forward. He's 18. He's got a ton of time to coach and learn more and just be better. He tends to give me a lot of the credit when it comes to his coaching and how he handles certain situations, but watching it from a distance, and sure, there's eerie similarities when it comes to watching him, interact with the players, and when he's in his zone of coach mode and hearing him yell, his one-word demands of go or stay or, like get here or whatever. It's hard not to picture hearing those things coming out of my mouth, but I told him, I said, I appreciate the fact that you give me some of the credit, but I want you to be better than me. I want you to do better than I did, or learn from what we did as a coach myself and as his coach and him being the player, and come up with a better version of it. I don't think he purposely imitates or does the things that I do. I think it's just ingrained in his head, but I want him to be better, and I want him to be himself. And to think that, he is where he is at 18 years old, he's coaching kids that are the same age as him. He's coaching some younger kids that are, 15, 16, 17, but he's a high school baseball coach. coaching kids that are the same age as him, and that's just something that his mother and I and his brother are extremely proud of, and I hope he is too. As for Giovanni, he had an injury to his pitching arm a few weeks back. I'm not going to get into specifics as to how it occurred or who to blame or anything like that, but it was a pitching injury to his right arm, his pitching arm, his elbow, and he was smart enough to, as much as he's a competitor and he wants to play, he was smart enough to let his brother know, let the coaches know, and, he was shut down from practice that day. Immediately, we took him to, get x-rays just to make sure there wasn't anything bone issue related, nothing there. Went to a specialized orthopedic for pediatric orthopedic sports injuries. So he has an MRI coming up in the next couple weeks, and pray to God there's no major or any structural damage, and that it's maybe just growing pains or simple tendonitis or overuse or something minor that he can, he has to go to physical therapy, but not until the MRI results come back till we see the severity of it. Can he start physical therapy and then hopefully have him ready to go for fall season. Giovanni, as you see some of my posts on Facebook, he has a personality that is, sometimes he's a space cadet. He's an unintentional comedian, but the kid has a killer drive in him to be the best at every single thing he does, whether it's baseball, whether it's his homework, whether it's testing. He just is a perfectionist, and he's always been that way as a little kid, and has continued that up now till 15, going on 16, and I wouldn't want him any other way. He's unique. He's not, same as Rocco and I, but that's what makes Giovanni special. He was, devastated to have any type of injury, devastated to be shut down for the season, but he understands that this comes with the territory. We watch enough baseball. We've, heard enough stories. My best friend growing up had arm injuries in his baseball playing career, and although I didn't have much of a baseball career, nothing that went past high school, I had shoulder issues, 2 shoulder surgeries, so I've always been very paranoid, just not with my kids, but kids that I coach and how their arms are. And then now to see, see your own son kind of deal with it, and knowing how competitive and passionate he is about the craft of pitching. It's hurtful, but, we were hoping for good news after his MRI. On a different note, I've made it somewhat of a joke, although it's not, it's real, it's not a joke. About a month ago, actually we're on day 31, I started a plant-based diet at the recommendation of my doctor, just to try to help with the symptoms of Crohn's disease, the inflammation. Some of the positives: I've lost 13 pounds, although you may not be able to tell it. My face still, I feel, feels like a blimp. It could just be that, my hair hasn't been cut in 3.5 weeks, and so in turn it's making me look like, my head is a big emoji circle. But I feel different. When people say, try to explain different, I feel different. I do feel lighter. I don't feel sluggish, which is a good thing. I don't feel bloated often, which obviously is a good thing. It makes me think of all the things that I've kind of put into my body and that we all put into our body on a regular basis that, some people don't give a shit what they're eating. Some people are more strict. Some people just, pick and choose here and there when they're going to eat healthier or when they're not. But it's eye-opening, like to think of the shit that like we just casually eat, the processed foods, what they're really doing. And like, trust me, I'm not a health nut. I'm not an exercise nut. I'm the total opposite of those things. I just want to feel okay. I want, when somebody asks me or my kids ask me every day, or a friend reaches out and says, how do you feel? And I type or I say, like, I'm okay. Like, most of the time, that's just a lie. Like, okay, that's not good. It's not bad. It's just, that's been my routine answer, is just, I'm okay. There have been more times in this last month where somebody has reached out and asked me how I felt, and I've replied by saying, like, I feel pretty good today. And then I take a step back, or I look at my phone and the text that I sent, and I'm like, I said that? Like, that came from me? That doesn't even seem real, because that's not my normal. I'm not used to saying, like, I feel good today. But there's been more days of that in the last, 4 weeks, 31 days of having this plant-based diet. Has it changed a lot of the symptoms that I deal with Crohn's disease in terms of, and then I don't mean to get too graphic, but with my bathroom situations, no. And as I've said to friends and family, if you had asked me over the last 23 years of dealing with Crohn's disease, hey, write down a list of the top 5 or 6 or 7 foods that bother you the most. Well, what I'm eating in this plant-based diet probably fill up that list of 5 or 6 or 7 things. Vegetables, fruit, anything leafy, anything that, beans. I didn't eat beans. If I ate beans, it was by accident, and it was hidden in something that I didn't see that I was eating previously. Now it's like I have it 3 times a week. I'll have like broccoli rabe and white beans in like a white wine sauce, and that's like 3 times a week. I pay the price for it, but overall I feel better. I committed to my doctor, and I committed to the boys that I was going to stick with this for 30 days. I had 3 cheat days. My doctor said, if you ever have like the urge to just say, essentially, fuck it. Like, I just want something that's what I'm used to having. Don't deprive yourself, because the longer you deprive yourself of it, you're going to go off the wagon, and you're going to just quit the diet. And you're going to, say fuck it more often, because you now had that slice of pizza that you wanted, or you now had that steak you wanted, or you now had, a sandwich, which is, the bready stuff, macaroni. So out of the 31 days, today's day 31, I cheated 3 times. Every single time that I did, after I ate, the rest of that night, the rest of the, afternoon, the next day, I felt exactly how I have for the last 23 years. And that tells me something. Although, my bathroom routines haven't changed whatsoever, it's telling me that I'm putting healthier stuff into my body, and my body is responding by not allowing me to feel like just a big fat lump of shit, like who's just, I don't know, like just a fucking bag of shit that can't move or is sluggish or anything like that. So I'm going to continue it. I may not do it every day for 2 weeks. I may throw in a day where I say, you know what, I'm going to make a steak. I love burgers. I love, I prefer a turkey burger, but these plant-based burgers that I've had, you can't tell a difference. Like, all right, yeah, maybe it doesn't taste like some big fat juicy beef burger or whatever. Put enough ketchup on it, put some relish on it. It's fucking good. It's good. I prefer it now over anything else. So I'm gonna stick with it. When I have the urge to have something different, I will, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, the scale has been throwing up different numbers over the last 4.5 weeks, and that can only be a good thing. But I've always said the scale can say 40 pounds less, but if I feel like shit, I don't care what the scale says. It doesn't matter. It's about how I feel, and I feel different. I feel, I can say, like, oh, I feel so much better. No, because then you factor in the other things that come along with having Crohn's disease or eating things that have always ripped your ass apart. No, I don't feel, wow, I just feel a million times better. No. But I feel different in a way that wants me to continue doing this, and I'm going to continue doing it. I encourage my sons as much as possible because, unfortunately, like with most things, Rocco has the same stomach issues that I do, although no legit diagnosis. Just watching him on a regular basis suffer, it sucks. And then in the last year or so, his brother, who, we joke and we say he eats more than anybody in the family, yet he's skinny as a rail. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. He's now starting to have some stomach problems. And as a dad, and you watch it from the outside, although I live it on the inside, watching it on the outside is so much worse when you see your kids deal with it. One of these dogs just farted. Whew. It wasn't me, I promise, but god damn it. But watching it is so much worse, but I want to, push them in the direction of making better choices when it comes to that. Long term. It's not just, oh, well, let's do it for 2 weeks or let's try it for a month. Long term. Don't stop at that, closest McDonald's because the game ended late and not much else is open other than Wawa or a Domino's or a pizza place. No, go to Wawa and grab a salad, or prepare and go to the store the night before, and you're gonna have a late night. Have a bag of salad at home. Whatever, just something that's making better choices to prepare yourself for tomorrow of feeling better. And that's what I'm going to continue to do as much as I could. But there's no cure for what I deal with. I just have to set myself up better, make better choices, and hope for the best. Outside of those things with our schedule and my health and baseball, today's the 14th, so we have a high school graduation, which I can't believe I'm saying, in a little over a month. We have a graduation party in about 2 months for Rocco, and that's what we have to look forward to. All emotional things, but things that make you extremely proud as a parent. Anybody that's watching that's a parent, I'm sure you understand. But I couldn't ask for better kids. I couldn't ask for better best friends than them. I couldn't ask for a better support system of, my friends back home, specifically Emilio. He's up in Rhode Island. He's started out as my Bruce Springsteen buddy, but he's turned into so much more than that. And my, few, but support system here in Florida. It's everything that you encourage me with, give me advice with. It's appreciated. It doesn't go unnoticed, as much as I, may not always reply, or I may not, do exactly what you want me to do. I hear it. I absorb it. I take it in. I'm a little on the stubborn side, and still, do things when I'm ready to do them, rather than be pushed to do them, like was the case for the majority of my early life. So a lot of things have changed for the better. Some things have stayed the same, and the things that have gotten worse will hopefully soon no longer have a place in my life. And with that, I appreciate you watching. Any comments or feedback, feel free to leave them. If there's anything I can do to help you with any aspect of your life, let me know. Reach out. Type it in the comments section on here, on Facebook. Send a message if necessary. If you have my phone number, you can text. I'm not a big phone call person, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't answer the phone. But I'm here for you too, like I've always said. And together we believe out loud. That's why we have the motto we have of the hashtag of believe out loud together. And one last thing, and I'm sorry I'm ranting, but I have a lot of time on my hands. I'm a news junkie, and you see all these things that are happening, whether it's in a school, whether it's in a church, whether it's in a shopping mall, whether it's in the grocery store, whether it's in a bank, whether it's outside of a funeral home, whether it's just in a local neighborhood. I'm not a political person. I don't really take sides, no matter what anybody thinks. I go with my gut of who I think and feel is the better option. But it's become so political, and the continued neglect, the ignoring of the mental health aspect of all this stuff, it's so disturbing. It's not an excuse for anything that any of these lunatics are doing, but I'd have to think that in most, if not all of these cases, there's got to be something really deep within these people to carry out the acts that they are. That isn't what spurred me to make a change within myself. It was other factors. But as I watch some of these things, and then you hear stories of, their family coming out and saying, oh, well, they dealt with this mental health issue, and, oh, well, my daughter, I never thought she would do this, but she has writings on social media, and she has writings that she left behind, and she, has friends who will tell you from 10, 15 years back of different emotional instabilities that they have, that it's like there's clearly still a major disconnect between allowing your feelings out, having the freedom, the ability to let out your feelings, and that fear and keeping it in and what are people going to think of me thing that is truly disturbing. And it's just something I wanted to add at the very end, that it's still so evident and it's still very present. It seems like it's getting worse. And whatever I can do, that can help someone, some 5, some 100 people, kids, not kids, whatever, That's why I'm here. So if you need, someone to talk to, if you feel like you're going through a bad stage and you're in a bad place in your life, like, reach out to me. Whether I have a lot of time on my hands or I don't only have 5 minutes, reach out to me. We can connect in ways that you don't think that, I never thought that I could connect with him about that. But could it hurt just to try? So I just wanted to say that the invitation, the door is open. I'm here. I think I have something to offer. I think I have positive support to give. And as I've said before, I'm here for you. And we will believe out loud together. That stands to this day. So 26 minutes later, I know this is one of the longer ones that I've ever done, but it's been a couple months. There's been a lot that's gone on, and I wanted to share it. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will talk soon. As we get closer to Rocco's graduation, there will be updates. There will be travel plans that are shared that relate to the foundation, and where our next steps take us with that. So again, have a great weekend. I do love you all, whether I see you often, whether I don't. The support is appreciated, the friendships are appreciated, and nothing goes unnoticed. I'll talk to you soon.